David Muthoka, KTN News, Nairobi.
Well, the responses to the rant by the Nairobi governor will get swift response. We'll be covering that for you. Moving on, the Ministry of Health has refuted claims of flouting procurement laws in the acquisition of the 3 algorithms HIV test kits set to phase out the current regime being used to test for the virus. It has also rubbished claims of faulty HIV test kits being in circulation in the country, amid concerns raised by some members of parliament on the efficacy of the kits and the tendering process. Here is our health and science reporter, Gloria Milimo, with the details.
Experts argue that HIV testing service is the critical gateway to accessing HIV-related care and treatment for those diagnosed as HIV positive, and as a means to access prevention services for those who test HIV negative. As Kenya strives to increase its HIV testing accuracy in a bid to meet the global 95-95-95 goals that seek to make testing accurate, affordable, and high impact by 2025 through the adoption of the World Health Organization recommended 3-test strategy, concerns by some leaders have cast a shadow over the integrity of the procurement process for the testing kits, set to cost the Kenyan government at least 400 million shillings.
There was nothing special about this particular tender that required the ministry to aggressively get involved to the extent no tendering was done.
The legislator, who is also a member of the Parliamentary Health Committee, questioned why no tendering was done.
If there was any scientific process they were using, all they needed to do is to give KEMSA specifications of whatever they wanted procured for in terms of the test kits, and KEMSA would have advertised now estimated figure.
In response to the concerns raised, Health Principal Secretary Harry Kimutai said the ministry was at liberty to opt for a direct procurement as opposed to going for the open tender.
It's a very expensive and a laborious process. It is not just the normal tender that you will do, where you go and evaluate the tender in terms of price. No, it doesn't use that criteria. Because we're telling you that there is a protocol that is developed, and these kits are subjected to that protocol to ensure that it meets the ethical standards for testing, so that once it is picked, it's known that a product that has met the criteria. So basically, it is not just a normal tender. It's like already these ones are the ones that have been pre-qualified.
There are 3 main types of tendering procedures used in Kenya. The direct procurement one, which the Ministry of Health opted for in this case, entails a procurement entity directly approaching a specific supplier without an open bidding process. The open tendering, on the other hand, is often open to all interested bidders who meet the eligibility criteria. In restricted tendering, only pre-qualified bidders are invited to submit proposals. Consequently, names of the shortlisted manufacturers were forwarded to the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority (KEMSA) by the Ministry of Health to facilitate awarding of the contract to 3 out of the 8 initially shortlisted manufacturers, namely Biolytical Laboratories Inc., Trinity Biotech Manufacturing Limited, and Guangzhou Wolfo Biotech Company Limited. According to Kibagendi, no due diligence was done to determine suitability of some of the manufacturers. He argues that the Ministry of Health ignored concerns regarding the conduct and integrity of the manufacturers, even despite one of them having been flagged by the World Health Organization through a report dated 27th March 2020.
WHO has issues with this particular company, not just here, but beyond our borders. The process of pre-qualifying for WHO is a rigorous process. There's a lot of requirements in terms of safety, in terms of reporting, and in terms of ensuring that there is constant checks on what they are doing. So that's a comfort that we do have, that there is no adverse report. We have not received anything from WHO. And as we are speaking also, as I said, The training is also going on with the support of WHO.
We have had complaints about false results.
Yes, there could be previously, there could be wrong tests. And that's why, in order to ensure that when a person is confirmed as HIV positive, they have gone through 3 steps now, not the 2 steps that were there.
According to PS Kimotai, the 3-test strategy that entails using 3 different test kits in a defined sequential manner for accurate HIV diagnosis is critical in Kenya's fight against HIV and AIDS. He says plans are underway to acquire and roll out mass testing using the kits from July this year. Kenya is among the 10 countries transitioning to the HIV test strategy. Globally, Kenya is ranked the 7th largest HIV epidemic in the world, with an estimated 1.4 million people living with HIV. Gloria Milimu, KTN News.
Very good story by Gloria Milimo. The Basic Education